Hi guys, so this is my first time doing any full set videos on YouTube, but first I'm going to show you how I created these gorgeous blue, people call them under the water nails, so I'm going to go with it. So yeah, these blue underwater nails. So as you can see, I am taking three different shades of like a blue turquoise green coloured acrylics, and I am just placing them on the nail. I'm working very wet and I'm pulling them into each other and I'm marbling them together. As you can see when I'm doing it, I'm trying to go one way, so I'm trying to make the nail flow, if that makes sense. So I'm just placing on nice wet beads, and wherever I feel that I need more of a certain colour, I'm just popping it on. And these colours, if I remember rightly, are CJP's Apple Shine, which is the really light turquoise colour, and then I'm using Glam and Glitz in shade Wave. And then the darker blue is from Nail Harmony, and I believe it's called Aluminum. Please don't quote me on it. I will pop down in the description below what they are for definite. So now that I'm happy with my marble, I am going to cap in my trusty CJP crystal glass. Anybody who follows me will know that this is the most clear and amazing acrylic, and I completely and utterly rave about it. So I'm just making sure that I'm happy that the whole nail is capped, because obviously I have worked quite wet and these are design powders. As you can see on this nail, this is actually a redesign. There's a little bit of my client's old design on there. Not worried too much about it, because obviously it's going to be covered up with this design. But I have obviously e-filed all our old design off. I have popped, I've obviously give it a file, I've popped in a little bit more clear. Just so obviously I can then file back again when she comes in for her next redesign in 3 to 4 weeks. And doing the fresh design over the top. On the ring finger, I am doing an extended nail bed using CJP Birthday Suit. So as you can see, I have just made my smile line, and then I'm going to go in with my cuticle bead. A lot of people struggle with cuticle beads, so as you can see, what I do is I just tease the back of the product, so I only touch the back of the product, and I tease that into the side walls and cuticle area, and then I pull the front of the bead forward, so I don't touch the middle of the bead. So again, I just tease back, just the back of the bead, and then I pull the front of the bead forward and leave the majority of the bead in the centre to build the apex. And then again, I'm just giving my smile line a little bit of a tidy up. The nice thing about CJP is you get that little bit of extra time to work with it, so you can still go in and tidy your smile line up. So next we are going into the third finger. This one was a little bit of a, I'd say it's a little bit of a marble glitter kind of design. So I have placed the Glam and Glitz in Wave across the nail, and I am just going into my, this is a gorgeous, like a multi-hollow mix. I think there's about 3 or 4 different size glitters in this, and I've got 2 colours here. These will be available from Diamond Glitters the end of September, I do believe, so please keep your eye out for these, because these are going to be amazing. There is about 20 something colours, I do believe. And then I'm using CJP's Apple Shine around the cuticle area. Now remembering I am working a little bit wetter than what I usually would work, and that is simply because this is just for design. So underneath my design I have a nice dry clear layer, so people who are worrying about getting a lifting because they're working too wet, you're sandwiching this in between 2 layers, so you will not get no lifting at all. So please don't worry too much. Sorry about my background noise, my phone does keep going off, as you know, it's crazy. So I'm just going into my glitter again. I'm just making sure that I'm really happy with that, and then I'm going to cap this whole nail again in crystal glass. I'm just checking constantly that I'm happy with my apex, making sure that it's not too thin on the edges. Remember, when you're capping a glitter, you want to make sure that the whole of the glitter is matte. If the glitter is still sparkly, then you know that it is not capped properly, so you're going to file straight into that glitter. On the index finger again, I'm going to do another marble design. So I am using exactly the same technique as I did last time. I'm just placing on nice wet beads, and I'm going to pull through Again in the same direction because I want it to be almost wave-like, so it's flowing in the same direction. So I'm just pulling through with a nice wet brush. And again, I'm just popping on more wet beads wherever I think they're needed, just to fill the whole nail. Again, as I say, it's the first time I've done a full set video, so if I just sit here and don't say anything, bear with me guys, it is the first time I've done it. I'm sure I will get better. So I'm just making sure I've got that cuticle area in nice and neatly. And now I'm just adding a tiny bit of glitter. The glitter I'm using is the Rainbow Iridescent Multi-Mix from Diamond Glitters, as are most of my glitters. So as you can see, I'm just adding really thin strips of this glitter. It's a really nice see-through iridescent glitter, so you don't need much, but it does add just that little bit more depth to the nail. I'm just sort of following on, you know, with my lines in the marble, as I say, just to give it that little bit more depth. I'm going to wait to cap that nail because obviously I have used some glitter in there and I have worked quite wet. I'm going to wait for the glitter to just set into place before I do cap because I don't want it to move around everywhere. So again, on the thumb, I'm going to be doing a extended nail bed using CJP's birthday suit once again. So I've just popped my smile line bead on and I'm just popping it all into place, making sure I'm happy with it. And then I'm going to go on with my cuticle bead. Now I will apologise for this bead placement and how I work this bead. I know it is terrible, but there was a parcel man banging at the door while I was doing this bead. So I was trying my hardest to get it on as fast as I could, and I'm only human, I panicked and it went all wrong. But obviously I did rectify with filing. So now I'm going to file in my smile line. I am using a 150 grit NSI file. It is a brand new file. So when I am filing my smile line, I use my whole file. Not just a little bit of the edge of the file. If the companies wanted you to use the little bit of the edge of the file, then they would make files that small. So I'm just filing it in nice and neatly. And then, silly old me, forgot to cap this nail. So I'm just going to cap it really quickly in CJP's Crystal Glass once again. Again, just put another bead on my free edge, making sure that I'm happy with the shape. And now I'm going to go on with my free edge of the ring finger. So I've just given that a wipe to make sure there's no dust and it's nice and clear. And then I'm going to go in with Glam and Glitz Wave, again a nice wet bead. And then I'm going to go in with the aluminum from the Nail Harmony, I think it's the Elements collection. And what I'm doing is I'm just going down each side of the smile line, making sure that it's nice and neat, and then I'm just swirling it into wave. So I'm not blending it, I'm swirling it so you can see the distinct mark between the two. So I'm just cleaning up my smile line, making sure the two colours are swirled nicely together. And then right on the free edge I'm going to use a tad of the Rainbow Multi-Mix from Diamond Glitters once again, just to pop a bit more lightness into the nail. And now that I'm happy, I'm going to cap the whole thing in Crystal Glass. Always making sure there's none underneath. Just patting into place. Make sure you've got that product right on those free edges and down your side walls. And then we are going to file in this set. So when filing, I always follow the same routine. Now I'm not saying this routine is right, I am just saying get a routine. That way you will eliminate any happy filing you're doing and over filing. So I flat file the top of my nail so I know it's nice and flat, and then I go in and do my side walls. And then once I'm happy with my side walls, I sort of roll file. So I'm rolling around the nail and making sure that the nail's nice and flowing, there's no sharp edges on there. I'm using my thumb just to have a good feel. And then just making sure I'm happy with my free edge and side walls. And then I'm going in and doing my cuticle area. When doing cuticle area, please make sure your file is on a 45 degree angle. And make sure you're not touching your apex area because you will file that nail completely flat. So you only want to be filing right around the cuticle area. That is the only place your file should be touching. I'm going to give it a nice brush off. And then I do apologise, I forgot to record me top coating the first two nails. So I am using Gel Bottle's Extreme Shine top coat to finish off, as I always do. This is the shiniest top coat ever. Like, I cannot describe the amount of shine it gives. It is absolutely amazing. And when teamed up with Crystal Glass, I just think, oh, it's just the perfect finish. So I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to use these amazing crystals, which are available from Diamond Glitters. As you can see, I am using a big selection of them. They do come in mixed pack sizes. I will say they are not Swarovski crystals. So please obviously don't think that you are buying Swarovskis. If you buy them, you're not. But I will tell you that these are as good as Swarovski crystals. The only crystals that I would use was Swarovskis. I was such a snob. I'm not afraid to admit it, but Danielle, bless her heart, sent me some of these crystals out to try, and honestly, the only reason I think I would buy Swarovskis is if there was a colour Danielle didn't stock. I love them, and for the price, they are literally amazing. So I'm using my crystal katana to place my crystals, as I always do, and I'm securing them with this CJP gripper glue. A lot of people say, how do you secure crystals? Mine are falling off. They're coming back in a few weeks and they are not on. This is the only thing I secure them with, it's just my gripper glue. Tiny amounts is the only thing that I can suggest. As you can see, my crystal katana has seen better days. I do need to actually clear the edge of it, so I'm struggling to pick them up. But I'm just using, I think I've got 5 different cuts out here, but as you can see, that is the finished nail with the crystals, and I'm just placing a tad of glue just around the edge of the crystals, making sure they are nice and secure and cleaning up any I get on the client's skin. And then I'm going to finish off with the gorgeous, the Gel Bottle oil. Oh my god, it's amazing. It smells like lemon, and it's one of the best cuticle oils I've ever tried. So please go and check them out. So this is the finished set. I really hope you liked it, guys. I hope I haven't babbled on too much. Thanks.